Isang magandang kalapan to our panel of judges, to our research professor, Dr. Rosalia P. Bayan. For today, we are going to present our proposal for our research study titled Strategies of Child Development Workers in Enabling the Progress of Our Learners. But before we delve into our presentation for this afternoon, I am going to present to you my other group members. First, I am Lian Gornetti Atalares. Second, we have Miss M. Mary Jane Manalo, Miss Shelo Maala, Miss Merfa Garcia, and Miss Sarlene Pangilinan. And today, we are going to present again our proposal. It is with a deep sense of purpose and enthusiasm as we convene to discuss an issue of paramount importance: the strategies employed by child development workers in enabling the progress of learners. In a world where the trajectory of a child's life is significantly influenced by the quality of their early experiences in education, the role of those dedicated to nurturing and guiding young minds cannot be overstated. First, we have the chapter 1 or the introduction for our research study. Number 1. According to UNICEF in 2019, participation in ECE is still limited in the country. It is also stated in statistical data that 66% of 5 years old children as initiated in the Kindergarten Education Act of 2012. Second, early childhood education is an integral part of the child's learning journey. It is the foundation of knowledge, and it is where children start to socialize and learn their own capacities or abilities in order that will help them in the future. Third, many child development workers lack the necessary skills to provide a high-quality early childhood education, or what we call the ECE. A data of 48% of the respondents in the study were graduates. 50% had attended fewer than 2 trainings. Fourth is that there are different problems faced by the child development workers. This cause that strategies that could be implemented successfully cannot be supported up to now. And of course, qualifications of being an early childhood teaching education to the Magna Carta of Daycare Workers approved by the House of Representatives in the year 2017. The next one, we have the research local. This study will be conducted at the selected daycare centers of Calapan City, Oriental Mindoro. The 14 selected child development centers in Calapan City are Lumang Bayan, Ginubatan, Sapul, Palhi Proper, Palhi Pook, Silunay, Ilaya, Balite, Pachoca, Tibag, San Vicente East, San Vicente West, Ibaba East, and Santo Niño. All of these are chosen due to the areas within the researchers. The center caters children 3 to 5 years old and serves children from diverse socio-economic backgrounds. This research will investigate the strategies employed by 14 child development workers at the center to enable the progress of learners.
Theoretical framework. The study on the strategies used by child development workers to support learners' progress can be linked to Levi-Vygotsky's social cultural learning theory, specifically the concept of zone of proximal development. Professionals like teachers and caregivers play a crucial role in guiding students to enhance their cognitive development within their ZPT, where they can advance their skills with adult assistance. Vygotsky highlighted the significance of social interactions and active engagement in learning, emphasizing the role of child development workers in facilitating rather than dictating students' learning by offering appropriate support and fostering environments that encourage exploration and learning. These professionals can help learners navigate their CPD effectively, aligning with Vygotsky's principles of guided participations and collaborative learning. Vygotsky's cultural learning theory underscores the impact of social and cultural experiences on individual mental development, promoting the idea of children advancing their skills with adult guidance towards independent mastery. Vygotsky emphasized the importance of social interactions in cognitive development, advocating for teachers and parents to guide rather than to control learning, fostering environments that support students' exploration and learning based on their interests. By promoting shared meanings and cooperative learning within the zone of proximal development, adults can enhance students' cognitive growth following Vygotsky's principles of guided participation and optimal cognitive development. In the realm of early childhood education, the role of child development workers is paramount. They are the architects of the learning environment, shaping the experiences that foster children's development. The question then arises, what strategies do they employ to enable the progress of learners? This is the central question that this research seeks to answer. The significance of this research lies in its potential to shed light on the methods used by child development workers. By understanding these strategies, we can enhance the effectiveness of early childhood education, ultimately benefiting the learners. Moreover, this research could contribute to the existing body of knowledge on child development and learning strategies. A review of the existing literature reveals a variety of strategies used by child development workers. However, there seems to be a gap in understanding how these strategies are implemented in different contexts and their impact on the learner's progress. To address this gap, this study introduces a conceptual framework that focuses on the strategies of child development workers. The framework comprises the independent variables such as the teaching strategy, child caring strategy, and managing emotions, while in the dependent variables, which is the progress of the learners through checklist of the child performance. It hypothesizes that these variables, when effectively implemented, lead to enhanced learner progress, having an output of conducting trainings and seminars. The research study is anchored on the assumptions that the strategies implemented by child development workers inside of the classroom greatly affect in enabling the progress of learners. Also, that CDWs as a facilitator of learning is held responsible for the knowledge imprinted in the child's mind, as this is the stage where they started to uncover their skills, wherein teachers also prepare students for the transition stage. There is a big effect of the child's learning needs doesn't meet at the earlier stage of education. This study is relevant as we will delve into the deeper perspective of the importance of early childhood education in this modern society. A statement of the problem. This study aims to find out the strategies of child development workers in enabling the progress of learners. First, the study will investigate how the strategies implemented inside of daycare centers are important in the holistic development of the child. Second, through a comprehensive survey and data analysis, this study will explore whether those strategies cater the needs of all learners considering their diversity. And then third, this research will investigate the effectiveness of those strategies to the learners in the daycare centers, or thus the strategies implemented needs to be updated and be suited to the status quo and needs of learners.
This scope limitation and the limitation of this study, out of the 62 barangays who has their own daycare center in Calapan City, Oriental Mindoro, 14 are selected to be used as a sample in conducting the survey. This research focuses on their strategies employed by child development workers to facilitate the progress of learners. This scope includes examining various methods and approaches utilized by this professional in nurturing cognitive, emotional, and social development in children. This study is delimited to child development workers involved in formal education setting or structured learning environment. Significance of this study. This result of this study will benefit the following. Child development workers. As this study aims to address the importance of quality teaching to the early stage of a child, the study wants to find out the effective strategies used by them in enabling the progress of learners in daycare centers, as well as the ineffective strategies to be addressed and replaced by recommendation as part of the outcomes of the study. They are the implementers of this education. That is why this will help for their professional growth and development as one. Student in the early childhood education. A quality of education that as teachers will deliver will also do have a big effect in the child's development in cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. This will help the students to be prepared in every aspect during the transition stage after daycare. If their additional needs are met by the strategies implemented inside of the classroom, they will be ready to advance into the next stage. Parents and guardians. Parents and guardians are important people in a child life who can also influence the motivation of the child to attend early education. The learning of the child don't stop inside the classroom. The guidance of the parent is also important in ensuring the continuous improvement of the child. The last one is the future researchers. The conducted studies will further open doors for the future's researchers to refine and expand studies in relation to strategies of the child development workers in enabling the progress of learners. This may serve as a source of relevant and factual information about the effective strategies in addressing the diversity of the learners. Definition of terms. Early childhood education. This is the early education's stage of the child that involves educational experiences provided to child from birth through 8 years old, focusing on their overall development. And we have here the UNICEF or United Nations Children's Fund is an organization that supports the program developed for children and also to protect the rights of every child. We have here the CDW or the Child Development Workers. They are the responsible for helping children develop and learn in early education settings. We have here the strategies, which is these are in innovative way that CWDs or the child development workers can support and enable the progress of child inside of the classroom. Diversity. This pertains to the differences of students inside the early education centers such as culture, language, and even disabilities. Early childhood education centers. This is a shelter which supports the right of every child in early education where knowledge and skills take place. Magna Carta of Daycare Workers. It is written documents that support the crucial role of CWDs in handling children and also the qualification needed for the role. Self-efficacy. As a CWD, this refers to the individual's belief on his or her capacity to showcase behavior necessary to create quality performance or service. Scaffolding. This refers to the support or assistance given to a child to execute a specific task. Zone of proximal development. It is a balance between what a child can already accomplish by himself and the things he cannot do without assistance. More knowledgeable others, this is the people that is more advanced to the child, which can assist learners on things he cannot fully accomplish.
Review of Related Literature, Chapter 2. Only one of two daycare workers are college graduate. There is a very serious concern that the others 50% or 24,547 may not have the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values necessary to offer quality ECCD programs to the 0 to 6 years old, Simeo Enotech 2010. Lack of knowledge skills can affect the limited strategies implemented inside of a daycare centers. Johari 2024. Children and the level starts to enter the world of education wherein the helps them to be prepared in the next stage of it. See PLM 2019. Through early childhood education, children can be exposed to the activities such as art, music, storytelling, puzzles, and even basic counting skills that can help shape how they process information in the future Insights 2024. It is all the same perplexing to students what are expected from them in the field since they are refined to generic teacher standards Almasa 2020. A child spends a large amount of time inside a school classroom where various skills necessary to thrive and prosper in a global society are learned and developed. Antisa 2020. Ongoing training, mentorship, and reflective practices in enhancing the competences of CDW and enabling learner progress. Martinez C. and Lee H. 2021 allow CDW to use a greater variety of evidence-based strategies to support diverse learners. Journal of Early Childhood Education 2023 through establishing warm, responsive interaction where child development professionals build dependable, caring relationship with children in order to provide a safe and encouraging environment. The new education policy NEP 2020 aimed to revitalize the early childhood care and education program as 85% of a child cumulative brain proliferation occurs prior to 6 years. NEP 2020. Solid educational foundation in the early years of schooling is essential in order to lay the foundation for future academic success. Leanington Excel 2020. Child development workers play a crucial role in the early identification of developmental delays among children at risk. Gimino 2023. Encourages international collaboration between teacher education program and ECEC centers for further exploration in this area. Rokonen 2022. Physical environment play a crucial role in shaping children's behavior and development, which is pertinent to the research topic of strategies for child development workers to support learners' progress. Pearson 2020. Although child and youth care workers are at the forefront of service provision, and their significance to children and young people in care is noted, little is known about how they build relationship with the children in their care. Chimangivan 2020. Emphasize the significance of physical design elements in shaping children's behavior and growth. Getman 2020. Walden University 2022. Daycare centers leader who lack effective strategies to retain employee, face high employee turnover, jeopardizing children's ability to form strong attachment bonds with their childcare staff, resulting in behavioral and developmental issues. Development in early childhood predicts schooling and labor markets outcomes in adulthood. Araujo Dermal Study 2019. NAEYC 2019, developmentally appropriate teaching practices encompass a wide range of skills and strategies. Parents are the primary caregivers of young children. MED 2021. These strategies employed by child development workers in early care and education settings to promote children's social and emotional learning. SEL Journal of Early Childhood Education 2023. Early learner progression has regularly been demonstrated to significantly influence a youngster's long-term outcomes and improving career plans, educational achievement, and even life quality. Reyes et al. 2020. Utilizing developmentally appropriate practice and incorporating active learning experience to facilitate learners' progress. Brown A. and Wilson, 2020. A traditional game can be beneficial in all aspects of early childhood development, including physical or motor, social, emotional, moral, cognitive, and linguistic development. Gol Shoukin Ahmad, 2023. A need to explore effective developmentally appropriate practices and strategies for using technology in early childhood classroom in order to meet young children's development and learning needs. Boyang Lee, 2023. Many schools have implemented transition practices designed to foster positive development for children during this time. Portal 2020. Daycare centers in the Philippines do not have a standard design for facilities. Only the public classrooms under DepEd have a standard design. Gumasing, 2021. The effects of positive or negative teacher-children relationship can be either beneficial or detrimental to students' academic progress, behaviors, and emotions. The author, 2020. UNICEF 2024. Obviously, the qualification and the salary of the CW. These are the problems in ECE. Participation in ECE is still limited in the country. 66% of 5-year-old children as initiated in the Kindergarten Education Act of 2012. UNICEF 2019. Successful implementation of programs by child development workers is a positive indicator of our country's social development, which can lead to the economic stability. Mapala 2022.
Research design. This study will use descriptive research design. This design aims to describe or document the characteristics, behaviors, attitudes, opinions, or perceptions of a group or population being studied. It focuses on providing a detailed and accurate representation of the data collected, which can be useful for generating hypotheses, exploring trends, and identifying patterns in the data. Hassan's 2024. For this research study, with a thorough analysis, that researchers will use a combination of quantitative and qualitative method, as this will help the researchers qualify the necessary data needed and quantify the result. The researcher will use this for non-standardized data based on meaning that needs to be expressed through words. Respondent of the study. This study involved 14 child development workers or CDWs who held various roles within the center whom contribute significantly to the study's objectives. Research instrument, student checklist, questionnaire, and Likert scale. Data gathering process. Researchers will use a qualitative and quantitative to gather data for their study. They will start by directly observing the classroom environment and recording learners' behaviors, interactions, and how they learned. A checklist will be developed to evaluate learners' performance, classroom setting, and instructional materials during observation. Furthermore, researchers will conduct interviews with teachers post-observation to gain insight on teaching strategies and challenges. All data collected will be analyzed together for a thorough understanding of the research topic, using data triangulation for validity and reliability. Throughout the process, ethical practices such as informed consent and confidentiality will be maintained to ensure participant safety. Detailed documentation will be kept and findings will be reported following scholarly guidelines with suggestions for future research in practical application based on the study results.